The GSPL is back, and I'm glad you're here. I hope you'll join myself, newly appointed Commissioner Harrison, and the reigning champ Justice as we break down the tier changes from last season, as well as give our picks for the best of the unpicked Pokemon from last season. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first Pokemon Center of the second season of the GSPL. That is always harder for me to say than I think it will be. I am joined here by two co-hosts. We have Harrison of the Miami Metagross, but that is no longer true. He sold his stake in that team in what I am sure was a lucrative deal, and he became co-commissioner. Hi, Harrison.
I did. I sold the stake for billions, and now I have the nice cushy job of making all the rules.
Yes. Why, listen to the rules when you can instead make them. And we are also joined by Justice of the Sacramento Kingdras, our current champion.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, champion. Champ in the making. Well, you're not champ in the making. You're a champ. But maybe repeat champ.
Making as well.
Yeah, and I want everyone to know who listens to this, the level of dedication we have is we actually recorded this, or we did this already once before, solely just to make sure the quality was high enough for you. And it has nothing to do with the fact that I did not click record. But
no, practice makes perfect.
Yeah, we just practice, over and over again. I haven't told them yet, but we're going to do it again. Just kidding. All right. Well, today, the plan is we have kind of three main topics we wanted to go over. Number one, what are we looking forward to in the season? The tier changes that we implemented in the off season, and then of course the fun topic, our favorite mon that wasn't drafted from each tier. Let me say our favorite mon from each tier that wasn't drafted in the previous season. There we go. That's what I'm gonna say. So yeah, how are you guys today? About the same as yesterday?
I would say about the same, maybe a little colder.
A little colder. Okay, sure. Yeah. I can see that. It's been cold, man. I don't know where this has come from, but it's freezing.
I know. I was grilling a little bit earlier, and it was just freezing outside. The smoke was coming off the grill.
Yeah.
Ooh. Hey.
It
is what it is. Yeah, I'm excited to get back into recording these Pokemon Centers and getting into this next season. We got the draft coming up on March 6th, and then the season will begin, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to sort of see what we have in store, and that's what we're gonna be talking about in our first topic here.
Yeah, perfect transition. See, this is why you got promoted. So what are you looking forward to this season, guys?
I can go ahead and throw out my looking forward to first. For me, I'm really looking forward to seeing the coaches who were a little bit more inexperienced last season, how they grew from their experience, and to see what they're going to implement and change going forward. I'm curious to see how the coaches' individuals' play styles are going to come out. If we start to see some coaches take on more of an offensive-minded style, or if we're going to see people revert to more of a defensive style, just depending on the coach and the personality of it. I think that'll be interesting to see sort of how their play styles evolve as they get more and more comfortable with a draft league Pokemon competitive format. Yeah,
for sure. I agree. I don't know. I think we saw some growth out of our some of our competitors there. We also, I guess we should say we also have less competitors, but almost everyone except for one person has played at least one draft league season worth of competitive Pokemon play. So I do think we'll see a little more parity up and down the league.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. And I don't even have to play. I just get to watch and tell you guys where you messed up, or it's great. All right. What about you, Justice? What do you think?
I definitely agree with Harrison. I'm excited to see kind of how each of the players, kind of learns the game, how they have improved since the last season. I'm also excited for our new player, my other little brother, Isaac, who has never played Pokemon in his life, but who is always really good at video games and strategy games as well. And so I think he'll actually do pretty well if he takes some time to learn it.
Yeah.
But I also want to say I'm super excited to see new Pokemon. I love seeing the variety that we had. Come on, it's going to be the same variety no matter what Pokemon get picked, because no repeats are allowed. So I guess that's not like the best point in the world, but yeah, I'm excited to see maybe some Pokemon that never got drafted, never got picked up with a free agency flex pick or anything like that.
Yeah.
And kind of see if maybe some of these players want to try something new, and they determine it's oh, I really like X Pokemon. I like Leos. I didn't draft it last time. And I'm just saying that figure a lot.
Yeah, no, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
That's about it. Yeah, I'm just excited to see the new Pokemon. How different players' play styles correlate with the picks this time around.
Yeah, I mean, new teams are always exciting, and then we get just that. I don't know. The draft is always one of the most fun parts of any type of this league, even like fantasy football, same way. Yeah, and I don't know. I think, man, this feels like deja vu, but I feel like we'll see more cohesion out of the teams draft. I think. I don't know. I think a lot of the people, it was their first time and they were just kind of picking their favorites and things. But I mean, and more power to you. I mean, we all like to pick our favorites, but I think we'll see just more team synergy across the board. Yeah, and I don't know. I'd like to see some new. I don't know. Did we see every weather represented last season? I guess we did. Is that correct?
We did.
Yeah,
yes, we did. I ran sand and hail.
Yeah.
And then
Justice, you actually had sand too.
Justice had sand too. And then both your brothers covered
rain
and sun respectively.
Yeah. Yeah, but I still go ahead. Sorry, Justice.
Oh no, sorry. Did Austin drop Ninetales later in the season?
No, he
used Ninetales in the playoff game against me and swept me at the end with chlorophyll sauce buck.
You're right. I remember that.
Yeah, Ninetales was physically defensive. Ninetales was pretty instrumental.
It was phenomenal. I can't even be mad about it. It was a very unexpected bring and definitely worked out.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just gotta, I don't know, tip your cap, right? Game recognized game, and
absolutely.
But yeah, I don't know. There's other teams we could see that would be interesting. There's some terrain stuff I kind of want to get into a little bit later. There's what else could we see? Trick Room, things like that. So, what's the one that lets you ignore items? I was thinking about that one today. Is it called Wonder Room? Magic
Wonder Room or Magic Room?
Because I've seen someone do super cheeky stuff. I think it was PokeAim did a video where he ran it was Magic Room, and then he had Choice Scarf on his sweepers, so you could bring them in, click Swords Dance, and then all of a sudden they're way faster than everything because they're scarfed and they'd sweep.
That's a heat strategy.
Yeah. It's Magic Room.
Magic Room. Okay. Yeah, it's a cool. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. We'll see a whole team built around that, but I don't know. I think we could see a lot of more fun stuff. Gravity, maybe. I don't know. All right.
Gravity could be very interesting.
Yeah, I think so.
Gravity's a good counter to. Oh my goodness! Why am I blanking? Whatever.
Yeah, Gravity. Or even, what is that? Isn't there a move that does the same thing? Smackdown? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah, Smackdown.
Yeah. Yeah, but we'll see how it goes. All right, let's move on, I suppose, to the tier changes. I guess, I don't know if you guys remember them all, but anything stand out to you from them? I don't know, I guess we could start with drops. Any of the drops do you think are noticeable or will impact?
Yeah, as we go through them, I can read them all out here real quick.
Yeah.
Just so we can go through. So of the drops, going from banned to tier 1 is Melmetal and Zygarde 50%, with Aura Break only as the ability, no power construct. Tier 1 to tier 2, Azumarill, Gengar, Hawlucha, and Keldeo. Tier 2 to tier 3 is Cinderace, Glastrier, Heracross, and Mimikyu. Tier 3 to tier 4 is Alomomola, Decidueye, Emboar, Mantine, Registeel, Talonflame, and Uxie. And then tier 4 to tier 5 was Girder and Hitmonchan.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anything stand out to you guys?
I feel the very obvious. Oh, go ahead, Justice.
You and I were probably going to talk about the same Mon, huh?
Start with an M.
The very obvious drop starting with an M, Mantine tier 3 to tier 4.
Yeah, I'm really breaking the game.
Way more of them.
No, definitely the drop of Melmetal going from banned into tier 1 is the hugest move.
Yeah. Melmetal is an absolutely devastating Pokemon. It's not. I think it's banned to Ubers at the moment.
Is it really?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's changed since I was playing.
Let me see. Hold on.
You might be right. I mean, it may have gotten banned. Wait, does it say here in the decks? In their decks currently it says OU, but I don't know if this is updated often or I don't know how.
I'm sure it is updated. At one point I think it was banned to Ubers, but it might have dropped down. But you see that gargantuan attack stat, gargantuan defense. Really high HP as well.
Yeah.
Actually fair special attack, I guess. And then pretty poor special defense and speed. But special defense can be augmented with an assault vest. It's a very strong assault vest user. From what I've seen, I don't use Melmetal all that much, but also double Iron Bash being a crazy high power move after you calculate stab and Iron Fist boosting it.
Yeah.
I believe it's 200 something base power. When you factor all that in. So it's a crazy strong move, and I think Melmetal, if it gets drafted, which I would not be surprised, is going to be an absolutely devastating force.
Yeah, with it getting drafted, you definitely need bulky water, most likely, to try and counter it. It doesn't really have any physical ways to hit bulky water for any kind of super effective damage.
I think it gets Thunder Punch, actually.
It does get Thunder Punch. Well, there you go. See, that's making an even bigger problem. There it is. Yeah. And to attack it and finish it off, you're going to need something most likely on the special side. You're looking at earth powers, flamethrowers.
And even then, its HP is high enough that it usually can let it hit.
So high.
And it doesn't have. It's not like it's Grass Steel or something, and it has a 4x weakness. But at least it's so slow.
The ability too just makes it so devastating.
At least it's so slow that this isn't as busted as you think. The 30% chance to make it flinch twice. What did you say?
Unless you run it with Trick Room.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, that definitely makes it a lot more scary. I don't know how that. So is it? I guess it would be what, like a. I don't know what it comes out to. I don't think it's actually a 60%. It would come out to like 50 something, I think. But still,
I believe it's 51% chance. If I have my VGC numbers correct.
Okay. Yeah, 51% chance sounds right. Still scary, especially considering it's not like some air slash. This is hitting really, really hard. So. Yeah, I mean, it's a great Pokemon. I think of the two that went from banned to unbanned, it has a higher chance of getting rebanned, but I could be wrong. I mean, 1,000 Arrows is quite a strong move, but...
Yes. Yeah. 1,000 Arrows.
Yeah.
It's almost like you don't need another offensive move on Zygarde if you have 1,000. I mean,
not really.
Sure, you might get those grass and bug types, but just being able to completely nullify flying Pokemon is pretty big.
Does it hit? Now I notice, I actually don't know the answer to this. I notice it says first hit neutral on flying. Does it also hit neutral on levitate, or does levitate completely get around it?
I'm not entirely sure. I'd imagine it would be neutral, like on a Rotom or something. I imagine it would be neutral to start and then super effective once if you used it consecutively. I think the move would just be too good if it was super effective to whatever the secondary type that wasn't flying was. So like Zapdos would be getting hit for super effective. The Rotom forms would be getting hit for super effective. Skarmory, Corviknight. Yeah.
No, it's a great move. Nobody ever even runs Thousand Waves, and Thousand Waves could be fine, but nobody ever runs it.
If you want to run a trapping move,
I know. Yeah, click it and then set up on something that can't hurt you. I don't know. Click that and then click, I don't know, sub or something.
You can do that.
What? Anything else from the drops that you think? I mean, the tier 1 to tier 2 drops, I think, could have also a pretty big impact.
Yeah, I remember we did talk about the applicability of Hawlucha now in tier 2.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Especially running in some kind of terrain with Unburden.
Yeah,
definitely makes it. We could draft it with a Tapu, and then run it with the respective seed attached to it.
Are all the Tapus tier 1? Are they all tier 1?
They are all tier 1.
Bulu. Wait, is Bulu tier 1?
Yeah, we have them all tier 1 currently. Yeah. Tapu Bulu. So all the Tapus. I think it might have been nominated. But yeah, and then Rillaboom. Yeah. No, I mean it definitely makes terrain offense better, I think. If your main game plan is set up terrain and kill things, then I think Hawlucha being tier 2 is a big buff to that strategy.
Yeah, and I think that while the Tapus are all excellent, I think Bulu a little bit less so, but Coco, Feeny, and Lele are all really, really strong Pokemon. Mm-hmm. But if you don't want to regulate your tier 1 spot to a terrain setter, or Rillaboom's also up there, you could do a flex tier 2 pick for Indeedee male. You could do Indeedee female, I believe, in tier 3, maybe tier 4.
What's the little sea urchin? What is that thing called?
Pincurchin for electric terrain.
Is that what it's called? Pincurchin.
And then Galarian Weezing for
Misty. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I think there's a few. I might be missing some of the other.
Yeah, so Hawlucha, I definitely think going to tier 2 makes it much more viable on any kind of terrain team. Azumarill and Gengar and Keldeo dropping to tier 2 I don't think are as notable. Still great picks.
Yeah.
With Azu, you can run the Whirlpool Parasong set. You can run Belly Drum, Huge Power, Aqua Jet. So still a solid tier 2 with and then you can also have access to Play Rough.
Yeah, for sure.
Fairy Water is a really good typing.
Indeed.
Belly Drum Aqua Jet is a really strong combination as well, especially with its really low speed stat. Just having that huge power +6 Aqua Jet is it's really big because it'll more than likely OHKO or 2-hit KO anything faster than them.
Yeah.
Plus, so.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I think they just kind of went from like questionable value to like pretty good value picks. Yeah. Also, to go back to the terrain thing, I was just thinking about. I don't know. I guess it doesn't have anything to do with it, but yesterday, I guess we were talking about Raichu Alola on these terrain teams, and I realized you could actually run it pretty effectively in electric terrain or psychic terrain, because I think it also gets expanding force. I was just looking at it, so you could actually have like two different terrain. You could run it. You could have like maybe like a lower tier, maybe like Pincurchin and Tapu Lele or something, and have two kind of different terrain packages, and he would be viable in both. But
Yeah, who knows? Maybe the Alolan Raichu meta is coming.
Maybe, man. Maybe. Give me that and a Lucha and 2 train setters and be good to go.
And then Metagross with Steel Roller.
There you go. I forgot about Steel Roller. That's funny. Doesn't Melmetal learn that too? If you can get him somehow?
If you can figure out how to get all these guys on one team.
Yeah, you're looking good. All right. Yeah. And then I don't know. We have... I do think, I don't know, just because the higher tiers have a bigger impact on the games, I think we mostly agree that the higher tiers will just have more of an impact.
I think Mimikyu dropping to tier 3 is a really good value pick in tier 3. With having Disguise, Swords Dance, and then Fairy Ghost typing, it has access to Shadow Sneak for priority. Running with a Life Orb is usually the way I've seen it run.
Sure.
Yeah.
Life Orb, you get a free Swords Dance.
Yeah.
I think
Fairy Ghost is a crazy strong offensive typing. It's a really good defensive typing as well, but it hits most things in combination, at least for neutral damage. I'm like trying to think of specific Pokemon that aren't hit for neutral by that. It's probably like
there's probably something like
like oh no, but Sharp no, because Dark is weak to Fairy, so that's.
I'm sure there's something. You could be like normal Steel or something. I don't know if that exists, but I mean, I know there's combinations that would. I just don't know if I can think of any. Like a Fire something, maybe? I don't know. But yeah. You know who wouldn't be? Pyroar. Pyroar resists it.
Yeah, you said normal and Fire, and I was thinking Pyroar too.
Yeah. I think Registeel is a pretty good deal now. Actually, just looking at this list, I think I don't know. I'm all about having some Stealth Rockers on my team, and I guess I'm like 99.9% sure this thing's got to learn Stealth Rock, right?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it's got to. I know I've seen it on it before, but and it has a good move pool, and you could use it. I don't know. You can kind of have it be special or physical as its various moves, because I mean it has. I think I saw Thunderbolt in here. I'm sure. Yeah, it has Earthquake. I don't know. Just a good little utility pivot thing.
Definitely. Registeel was on my radar last season when I was considering adjusting to make more of a Trick Room team. Okay. Registeel was there. And having those high defenses and a solid HP stat.
Yeah. Clear Body's not terrible too.
It's good. It's good. And I think it's a really good pick in tier 4. I still think it's niche because it's very slow and equal defenses, so you can run it either way, but still a good tier 4 pick.
Yeah, for sure.
I know we were joking about it earlier, but I actually really like Mantine in tier 4 because I definitely don't think it was good enough to cut it in tier 3. But I think in tier 4, it's really, really specially bulky, and I think it works really well as a special wall. You can give it, I guess, if you want, Water Veil, if you don't want to be taking burn residual damage. But, it gets access to Roost, Scald. I can't imagine.
Probably, right? Does it get Defog?
Yeah, probably Defog. Tailwind's another big one. Again, for team utility. I don't know. I just think it's a really good Pokemon, and if you're like weak to rain or something like that, you can run it either Swift Swim or Water Absorb to just nullify. Kind of all those water moves.
Yeah. Also gets access to Hurricane. So if you take advantage of the Swift Swim, you get Hurricanes for free as well.
Sure. Yeah. I guess that's fair. I mean, its special attack is usable, 80. It's
what's in tier 4.
Yeah, sure. It is incredibly specially bulky though. Like if you're looking for a cheap Blissey alternative or something, I guess you just want that big beefy special wall. You can do worse. It has reliable recovery. It has defog. It has haze too. I think I saw.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. It could do something. It gets Tailwind.
Does it get Refresh?
R. I don't see it. It gets bullet seed for some reason. I don't know why that matters or why it has it, but it gets it.
That's really cool.
It's really weird.
It's from the Remoraid swimming under its wing.
Okay, so the Remoraid spits seeds? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The bullet seed.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, it's like a little one.
Sure.
I mean, I think Remoraid gets bullet seed. I could be wrong. I know Octillery does, but one thing is, it is obviously, it does have a glaring weakness to electricity.
Yeah. Doesn't love that either. But
all the time, though, your electric coverage is going to be special, and I think that it can more often than not survive any non-stab electric move that isn't like, maybe not boosted.
Sure. But you're probably right. I mean, it does have very high special defense. I don't know what would be like an average.
How like Gengar Thunderbolt? I know that.
Sure.
That's a high special attack stat, but that's an option. We could do Starmie also.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
Yeah. Oh, I did the 1,000 volt thing. I hate that always is like who ever clicks on that? Why? Yeah, it'll live. And this is 8. Not a lot of specially defensive investment. So yeah.
If you make it 252 special defense with a plus special defense nature, how well is it taking that?
Good question.
It's probably still a 2-hit KO, but that's an interesting question.
Let's put an assault vest on it. I'm just kidding. Let's see.
Is it guaranteed?
It is
still
guaranteed.
Okay.
Yeah, to a KO. Yeah.
All right. Well, at least that frees you up to put some more in defense.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So impressive.
Yeah.
It's something. It's
All right. Well, we can move on to the tier rises then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll go through those real quick. Our tier rising, going from bottom to top, from tier 5 to tier 4, is Barbaracle, Dusclops, Lantern, and Guzzlord. Tier 4 to tier 3 is Arctozolt. Tier 3 to tier 2 is Slowking, Galarian Slowking, and Magnezone. Tier 2 to tier 1 is Galarian Zapdos and Buzzwole. And then tier 1 to banned was nothing. Everything is staying in tier 1.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we like our broken stuff.
We do.
I don't know what
First category.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we talked about this yesterday, but there's 2 Pokemon that I think like this was a direct reaction to like last season. I don't know if you guys want to talk about them.
Well, I can talk about mine, and then Justice can talk about his.
Perfect.
Yeah, so definitely, in my opinion, the biggest change we're having is Arctozolt going from tier 4 to tier 3.
Yeah.
Arctozolt, it was just phenomenal. Inhale, especially with Slush Rush, getting up to 110 base speed.
Yeah.
And just being an absolute truck with Bolt Beak.
Yep.
Made it great. It's got good stats all the way across the board. The speed is irrelevant because you're usually going to run it in Hail.
Yep.
Even if you don't run it in Hail, it can work well in Trick Room, and you can run it with Volt Absorb then instead,
Sure.
which gives you a free electric switch in. So then that way you can run your Mantines if you want.
There you go.
Ooh.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
The old Arctozolt Mantine defensive core.
Yeah, so this one definitely a direct reaction to how much it swung games after I picked it up in free agency. And phenomenal stab typing to boot.
Yeah, I mean, Electric Ice is great offensive typing for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I didn't even address the reason it got risen, which was Bolt Beak. That's the reason that Arctozolt is even
Good.
Considered decent.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anyone would give really any of the Gen 8 fossils a second glance if not for Bolt Beak and Fish's Rend. And so, I think Bolt Beak's just such a strong move.
Nothing else learns those, right? Those are exclusive to that set of Pokemon, right? Yeah.
Exclusive to them, unless you're talking.
Unless you play Radical Red.
Yeah, Radical Red. You got Fish Trend on Seeking.
Or Smeargle. Or Smeargle.
Oh yeah, there you go.
But I don't think he is in the running for this. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. And then I guess I'll talk about mine. Another electric type.
Yeah, all these busted.
I love Lantern. I think I said last season that I thought it was without a doubt the best tier 5, and I don't know if I 100% agree with that now. Especially considering the amount of Shell Smash users in Tier 5.
There's a few.
Yeah. One of them actually rose for that reason. And so, I love Lantern. I think it's got a great defensive typing, and it's got 2 excellent abilities in Volt Absorb and Water Absorb, which usually you're probably going to want to run Volt Absorb, but depending on your matchup, it may be better to run Water Absorb.
Sure.
It's very high HP stat, pretty good special defense, not great physical defense. Actually, I guess no, never mind. I was looking at the wrong stats.
Yeah, no,
special. Not great, but mostly it's going to be the utility mon, hit things super effectively, or for chip with maybe a Scald Burn or something like that. Gets Heal Bell, gets Thunder Wave. Only thing it's lacking is reliable recovery.
Yeah.
But I think that it would rise numerous tiers if it happened to get Recover or even Wish or something like that.
Does it get Pain Split?
I don't think so. I don't think it it might get what is it? Is it Parabolic Charge? Parabolic Charge? Is that the electric type Giga Drain? Or there's one that's an electric type Giga Drain, but
there is? I didn't even know that existed.
I think that might be a fan move, Justice, in Radical Red.
You might be right. I think it's Parabolic Charge or Parabolic Charge. I don't know how to pronounce it, but they changed it to be Drain. That's my fault.
Oh, okay. Honestly, okay, but yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Okay. My bad.
No,
but fine. Yeah, it's I love Lantern. I brought it, I think, the first 5 weeks of the draft, and then not as much in the later weeks. But I liked running it with an air balloon. That way, it's only weak to grass until it gets hit.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a really, really strong Pokemon. I still in Tier 4. Just definitely not as good as it would have been in Tier 5.
Yeah, it's a good Pokemon. And I mean, most of these, I don't know, I think most of these just, we were concerned about, I don't know, just I guess just better than their counterparts in the same tier. Like Barbaracle, for example, we just thought it was kind of the best of the Shell Smashers that were in Tier 5, basically. We were like, well, if you want a Shell Smasher, you're never going to pick any of those other ones over Barbaracle. Which is pretty good, man. Its attack is usable. It has Tough Claws. Rock Water is decent typing offensively, other than, I guess, grass types. But, yeah. It gets
the fact that... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, nothing. Go ahead.
Just the fact that I get that Cloyster gets Skill Link and, Icicle and stuff like that, but it actually has a higher attack stat than Cloyster plus Tough Claws.
Sure.
So contact moves like Liquidation, and I don't know if there's any contact rock moves that
I don't know,
worth using.
Actually, that's a good question. I actually don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, but regardless, it's going to be hitting super hard after a Shell Smash, and obviously its Liquidation is going to be hitting much harder than Cloyster's Liquidation would be.
Yeah, and its move pool, I'm looking up and down. It's usable. It has some stuff. It's got Earthquake. It's got X Scizor. I think I saw a good Poison move or something. What did I see?
Poison Jab?
Did it have Poison Jab? I thought I saw something. Maybe
Does it get?
It does get superpower. Yep, I saw superpower in there. It gets Shadow Claw. I don't know. It has some stuff.
Good for draft. Oh, it gets Clamp if you wanna trap as well.
There you go. All these trapping sets. Oh, there it is. It does get Poison Gem. There you go. All right. Well, I don't know. Do you guys have anything else you'd like to bring up in this section, or should we move into the final segment, I guess?
Yeah, the fun part.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, our final segment, I guess a reminder for those of you that forgot, is we're going to talk about our favorite mon from each tier that was not drafted in the previous season. And I guess you could kind of take that. You could literally say, this is my favorite one, or you could just see one that you, I don't know, think would fit well in draft. But yeah. All right. Yeah. So let's start. And I think we did we'll do tier 5 to tier 1. And I will start us off. And I will pick Electivire. Just a good offensive mon. Loves Mantine. It would be a great Mantine partner. Speaking of Mantine, he gets in. He finally gets his just barely usable offensive speed up to very good levels, and his move pool is pretty good. I wish there was just a better. One of the biggest things I think that holds it back is there's just not a great physical electric move just in existence. You're basically forced to run. I'm sorry?
I mean, Wild Charge is fine, but yeah, you're right. If it got Volt Tackle.
Yeah, that's it has to either pick Wild Charge or Thunder Punch, basically. And neither of those are exactly what he's looking for. But he does get, if I remember right, pretty good coverage. Yeah, I mean, he gets Fire Punch, which... cool. He gets Earthquake, Darkest Lariat's good. He gets Brick Break for fighting coverage. I wonder if he gets better. I think that might be it in terms of.
Does he get close combat?
I don't think so. He gets Hammer Arm. If he did, it would be better, but I don't think he does. But yeah, I mean, a pretty usable. I don't know. I think slightly better than usable move pool. 123 base attack is certainly high enough. I don't know. And I mean, he can run Volt Switch, so he can kind of switch around, even though, he's not going to maybe use that as a primary method of attack. But I mean, his special attack is usable. I mean, you could run him as some sort of mixed attacker, because I mean, he does still get, he gets Flamethrower along with Fire Punch. So, if you knew the thing they were going to bring in, was physical, if you were trying to beat a Corviknight or something, or a Skarmory, you might run. Well, then you have electric moves anyways. He also gets Ice Punch. I don't know. Yeah, Electivire. For a tier 5 mon, I think you could do worse.
Yeah, Electivire is one of those Pokemon that, it really should be better than it is. On paper, it looks like a really good Pokemon with really high attack, pretty good speed, a good move pool. But I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the ability in particular that kind of holds it back, but I personally think it's low power on his moves, his stab moves a lot. His stab move is low. He's not dual stab, which on an offensive Pokemon in general, you kind of want dual stab if you can. And even his cover, Fire Punch and Ice Punch, I mean, they're good, but they're just, I don't know, they just don't quite hit as hard as you'd like.
Yeah, forgive the pun, but it doesn't pack enough punch. Just base 75 non-stab moves if those are your best options for coverage, they're not going to be as viable. And Electivire is one of those mons that really just suffers from not having, like you said, Bo, a dual stab at its final evolution. You looking at it and think, oh, that could definitely be an electric fighting type.
Speaking of Radical Red, isn't electric fighting in Radical Red?
Yes.
Okay.
It is, and it gets Iron Fist.
Oh, that would be excellent on it, actually, because it has all that would actually be really good.
Yeah, if Game Freak actually maybe took some notes, maybe maybe a cool Pokemon might actually be usable.
Yeah, I really like Electivire too. And I remember I don't know, this is dating me, but in Gen 4, like right when it came out, everyone was excited about it. Like when they thought, and it was in OU for like a little while, and then people were like, oh, this thing still somehow gets walled by like Skarmory, and it was just like, okay. But yeah, like Electivire, Garavire is what they called. You'd run Gyarados and Electivire together because obviously the motor drive combo works pretty well.
Yeah, and back in Gen 4, I don't think you got Team Preview.
You did not?
Yeah.
So it was easier to bait
Right.
It was easier to bait the electric moves.
Yeah. Yeah, and then obviously Gyarados, takes the ground moves for him. So there was a good synergy there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, well, I'll go next. My tier 5, I went with Double.
Double. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Double running Fluffy. You take half damage from contact moves at the expense of the 2 times damage of fire type moves. It's got base 100 defense, 72 HP, and you're going to be running it most of the time with Cotton Guard and Body Press.
Sure.
And then you can run Rest Sleep Talk if you want. You could run Protect and Thunder Wave if you want to play more of a support, and then run it with lefties, or you could run it with a Chesto Berry if you want to sort of take advantage of a free heal with Rest.
Why on earth does this thing learn Thunder Wave? It learns. Oh, I guess it's the static. Huh? I was trying to think what is the reason they would give it so many electric moves, but I guess it's because it's like static electricity.
Because it's all fluffy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
So I think overall, I think you could do a lot worse, and I think also it's got the potential with base 88 speed. That's not terrible for a very defensive Mon.
That is faster than I.
And then the defenses and special defense are pretty good too at base 90. So you run it with Cotton Guard and lefties, and you're going to be able to take anything physical.
Non-contact.
Well, yeah. Well, if it's non-contact, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, sure. But with a lot of the contact moves, you're going to have that half damage. And even with the non-contact physical moves, if you're running Cotton Guard, you just need 2 turns, and you're at +6 physical defense. And then it needs to be something special to damage you. Otherwise, you're going to end up steamrolling the whole team, unless the other team has like a ghost type to be able to be immune to the fighting moves.
Sure. Yeah. His other abilities aren't terrible either. Steadfast and Bulletproof have uses. Yeah. Well, probably not Steadfast, but Bulletproof. I don't know. I could see in specific matchups.
If someone's got like a clauncher.
Yeah. Something like that. Or what is his name? You think they're going to run a special? Lucario or something?
Mm-hmm. Anything with Sludge Bomb or
Aura Sphere.
Yep. Energy Ball, all that stuff.
Shadow Ball. Well, actually, never doesn't need to be.
That's a good point. You bring Bulletproof to beat their Gengar or something. That'd be funny. I hope that happens so I can laugh. It's like that's like when I don't know, someone in our last season set up to like +6 on their oh my gosh, Ice Q, and like tried to click like reversal on a ghost type.
It was very Corsola. He thought
he thought it was regular Corsola. That was pretty funny. Oh man. All right, what about you, Justice?
All right. Well,
I was going to say Electivire, and then I was going to say Double. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I actually think there's a ton of really interesting Pokemon in Tier 5. Like, I don't think I appreciated it as much on last season, but this season I'm like, oh, this Pokemon's actually pretty good. This Pokemon's actually pretty good, you know? One Pokemon. See, I'm trying to go between like, you know what? I'll just tell you my favorite really quick, and then I'll jump onto the one that I think is actually like good and worth using.
Okay.
So I love Go-Go.
You love Go-Go? Is that what you said? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Go-Go.
Okay. What is grass pelt?
I remember when X and Y came out. It was on my first team. I think it's a really, really cool design, even if it is like pretty basic. But I think it just suffers from poor moveset syndrome because it gets a lot of good moves. It gets Earthquake, Rock Slide, Horn Leech, Milk Drink, Bulk Up.
Why does it get Milk Drink and Synthesis? I mean, you just always run Milk Drink, basically, right? I guess not. You could be
unless you're in the unless you run a Sun team.
If you're in the Sun, but
then that's like you're just asking to get hit with a fire move at that point. So
yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, I think what holds it back most is, like I said before, moveset syndrome, but also secondarily is its abilities are not great. Grassy Pelt is
could
unused most of the time.
Yeah.
And Tap Tipper is pretty good in certain situations, but I don't think it's necessarily like.
Yeah, I mean, I could see having some kind of weird, because I mean, it has good HP, so I don't know, maybe you have like a ground water type, maybe you got Swampert, and you have this thing in the back to, I don't know, I'm trying to think of scenarios.
Yeah, I love Bulk Up, I love the Bulk Up Milk Drink set, which the thing is that, if you Rock Slide, then you're not able to, you're walled by... Hold on. What are you walled by? Oh, you're walled by steel types, which is pretty big. And if you run Earthquake, you're walled by flying types. So it's just kind of unfortunate. I think one thing that would benefit this, and actually there's another ROM hack that has it have this ability, is giving it Grassy Surge.
Oh. I mean, most grass types would benefit from that probably, but...
Yeah, but I'm saying, looks like a Pokemon that should get Grassy Surge.
Sure. I mean, it's got grass on it. Yeah. I mean, does Rillaboom even have, grass on him? I guess he does, huh? He has, those plants on his head.
Yeah.
But that's not grass.
It should die there.
You know what? In all fairness, I'll say, since I said I was going to talk very briefly about the Pokemon I liked, I'll just have this be the one I was going to say. Okay. And very briefly, I think Float's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I have a soft spot for grass types. And I don't know, Leech Seed did a lot of work last season in various different games between Tangrowth for you, and then Austin actually had it come up big.
Against me.
Against you with his, what is that stupid, annoying thing?
It was a Subseed Whimsicott.
Whimsicott, there it is. I hate that thing. I don't even like using that thing.
I love it.
Yeah, Subseed Whimsicott. Yeah, so I mean, sure, it could. I mean, I could see it doing some things.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's move to Tier 4.
Tier 4. I have a few. Yesterday I talked about... Oh, I remember who I talked about. I will go with... I'm going to keep on the Unburdened train and talk about Hawlucha before Hawlucha was cool. And I'm going to talk about Hitmonlee. Very good attack stat. Actually, significantly higher attack stat than Hawlucha. And yeah, I mean, basically he does one thing. Well, I don't want to say he does one thing because I think he actually also learns Rapid Spin, but I would almost never want this to be my primary Rapid Spinner because I think just all the Hitmons learn Rapid Spin. But Hitmonlee, the Unburdened sweeper before it was cool, I guess. Nice. Very, very usable attack set. I think he even learns, I'm sure he learns Bulk Up actually. And I believe he also has some number of priority. I think he learns Bullet Punch or something randomly enough. Does he? I want to say he learned something weird like that. Yes, he does. Yeah, and Mach Punch. Yeah, which you probably would run over it most of the time. But if you just needed that coverage, or you already were running close combat, or he even learns High Jump Kick, which I don't know is fun. Yeah, I see up there too. He learns Blaze Kick, which again, good. He also learns Sucker Punch, which would also be a reasonable priority move. Mm-hmm. He learns Knockoff. Yeah, I mean, honestly, he's very, he learns poison jab. He's very kind of one-dimensional. But I don't know. We're talking about a tier 4 here. I think I'm okay sacrificing flexibility for just general, like actually good at one thing. And yeah, I don't know. I think his move pool and his stats are good enough to be a cheap, unburdened sweeper if either you don't have room for the Hawlucha pick on your team or Hawlucha gets taken. I think Hitmonlee is a pretty cheap backup that can do okay. Even learns fake out, actually.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Good
for tier 4 for me, I picked up Wobbuffet.
Oh, you would. You would.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, huge HP and base 190, but garbage everything else. And it does one thing and one thing only. And if you plan around it, you can easily counter it. But if you can catch someone out with just anything that wants to hit it, and you know it's going to be a physical or a special attack, you can predict it. You're going to be able to take at least one thing with you.
Yeah, I mean,
Got that Custap Destiny Bond.
Yeah.
There you go. You get 2. You get to Custap thing, and then the thing that comes in to take you. You said, nope, you're coming with me.
Yeah, I mean, it incredibly shallow move pool, terrible stats other than his HP, but yeah, does also, like Hitmonlee, does one thing and does it pretty well.
It forces your opponent to really have to plan around it, and then run toxic on a lot of things. Sure. And you know, if you can force your opponent to use up a couple of slots on the same move across multiple Pokemon just to handle one, that is something that maybe you don't bring it very often or all the time, but just knowing that your opponent has it is going to always force you to take it into account.
True, that is a good point. You will always account for that. Account for Wobbuffet, probably, when you're building your teams. So that's a good point, actually.
Yeah, that's a sign of a strong love, forcing your opponent to play around it well.
Yeah, we talked about Arctozolt. That was very similar for Arctozolt. Like, you just kind of had to have a plan for dealing with that stupid thing.
Yeah.
What about you, Justice?
I think there's a lot of cool Pokemon in Tier 4. I think there's a lot of cool Pokemon in a lot of tiers. But one that wasn't picked that I love, and you may say, oh, this is just a cheap version of another Pokemon.
Well, I did the same thing, so it's fine.
No, but I mean another Pokemon in the same tier.
Oh, okay.
Is Chinchino.
Oh, yeah. I'm into this.
Yeah,
that skill link.
I didn't originally like it too much, but then I used it once in RU when X and Y was out, and I fell in love with skill link, tail slap,
and rock blast, and bullet seed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so you may think, oh, isn't this just like Ambipom, but with like entirely worse stats? And you would be right, kind of, because Ambipom doesn't get Rock Blast, doesn't get Bullet Seed. I don't think it might get Bullet Seed. I could be wrong on that. What it? Oh no Bullet Seed. Yeah. So no Bullet Seed, no Rock Blast, and what I think is most important, even though they both have Skill Link and Technician, Ambipom I don't think gets Triple Axle.
Oh.
Which
does this thing get Triple Axle? Are you kidding me? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it didn't get Triple Axle. I checked the other day.
Does that change anything?
Yeah, well, with not with Skill Link, but with Technician, that becomes a 180 base power Ice type move.
Okay, sure. I was like, why does that matter? Sure.
So yeah, I think Triple Axle alone, Ice being a crazy good offensive type, makes Chinchino worth using or worth drafting potentially over Ambipom. Again, not saying that Ambipom's bad at all, because I think if you want to run a skill link Pokemon, it might be better to run the one that has just generally better stats. But I think Cinccino's really, really good. It gets a lot of the same moves that Ambipom gets, plus some that are even better. So.
Yeah, it gets you. I mean, they both get U-turn, but I'm always a fan of just having U-turn on things.
And it's fast.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is fast for sure. For sure. All right, moving on to tier 3. I'm going to double check this Pokemon's in tier 3. It is Zoroark. I don't think anyone took this, right?
No.
Yeah, okay. No one took Zoroark. I'm
just saying Zoroark because it's probably one of the Pokemon that leads to the most like cool or fun outplays. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I guess for those of you who don't know, it has illusion. And basically when it switches in, it appears as the last unfainted Pokemon in its party until it takes direct damage from another Pokemon's attack. So like the way it works is basically you can trick your opponent into thinking like this is a different Pokemon until it takes an attack. And you can do really like interesting, weird tricks. Like if you have like a fighting type or something in your team, you have a Conkeldurr or a Machamp or something, you can kind of switch them and they try to hit you with that big psychic move and you're like, surprise. Yeah, I don't know, just a good and decent stats. I mean, I'll say 105 speed and then very usable, both offensive stats. Can't take a hit to save its life, so who cares about when it takes a hit? It's going to die most of the time anyways. But yeah, also very good move pool. Learns things like Flamethrower, obviously gets the dark moves. Focus.
Dark Pulse. I think it gets Sludge Wave.
Sludge Bomb.
Sludge Bomb, there it is.
At the very least, it gets Sludge Bomb. Yeah, I think it gets... does it also get Nasty Plot? I think it gets Swords Dance and Nasty Plot. It does, and it's fast enough. Yeah, and it's fast enough that it, you could clean out
U-turn.
Right, and U-turn. Yep. Extra Sensory. Yeah, just a good offensive move pool, and a very just fun and tricky ability to see in action.
Definitely. Yeah, it definitely takes someone with a little bit more game knowledge to be able to truly take full advantage of illusion. But with someone who can, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen it do things. Like it's not without merit. But yeah.
And it gets cut.
Sure.
Wow.
Thank you.
And because
yeah, I mean, its move pool really is pretty good for an offensive Pokemon.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. All right, I can go next. For my tier 3, I have down my second favorite Pokemon, which is Umbreon.
Umbreon. I never knew this. Do you like any offensive Pokemon, or no? You just offensive?
No.
Just let him.
I don't. Well, Metagross is a kind of offensive.
Yeah.
It's pretty bulky.
Yeah. So I have down Umbreon, and Umbreon is just phenomenal. I've been in love with it ever since I've seen its design, and especially its shiny. So just having a good shiny gives it extra bonus points to me.
It's blue, right? It's black with the blue rings.
It's blue. It just replaces the yellow with the blue, and it looks...
It does look cool.
So good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Umbreon, I think its ability is fantastic with Synchronize. You're never going to run it with Inner Focus.
Yeah.
But having so much utility with Wish, it has Moonlight if you want to heal itself. Wish, Protect, Toxic is awesome, and then you run it with Foul Play if you want, because then you don't have to worry about having any kind of offensive investment at all, and you can just rely on the other people, on your opponent.
Yeah.
I think it's a fantastic special wall.
It is.
Running it with leftovers usually. It gets Yawn. Yeah, so I think Umbreon is a fantastic pick in tier 3. It can get Taunt if you want to run it with Taunt.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
you could run screens on it if you want to. I don't really think you would, but you could.
Did you mention Heal Bell already? You probably did.
I did not mention Heal Bell, but I was about to. It gets Heal Bell.
Okay. Yeah.
Really good for defensive Pokemon.
Yeah, good cleric. Mm-hmm. Also, pretty good ability. Synchronize. So I mean, doesn't care quite as much if it gets toxic.
No.
and it can just heal it off.
True. Yeah. And if it has heal bell, yeah.
Yeah, so in my mind, Umbreon is one of the best special clerics, special walls in the game, because of just how much versatility it has to either be a special tank or to have that cleric role to heal status and heal HP. And then having foul play, so you don't really have to worry about any offensive investment into it. You can just rely on your opponent to damage itself.
Yeah, those dark type walls that can get the foul play. There's another one that's really good. It might get mentioned later. I'm not sure, so I won't mention it. But those dark walls that can get foul play. It helps.
Does it get knockoff?
Yeah, I'm guessing yes, but I guess I don't know.
It does not get knockoff.
Okay. Well, bummer.
No knockoff. Well, that's okay. Foul play is just fine. Yeah, I didn't know how high Umbreon's HP was until the other day. At first, I thought it was, like 65, because I knew all the evolutions had like
the same stats, just mixed up. Yeah.
Distribution. Yeah. But I didn't realize that 95 was his HP, which I guess makes sense, because I can't imagine it having 95 attack, special attack, or speed. Oh, go ahead.
Something else that might be worth mentioning is I believe we said we allow dry passing. So, I mean, it learns baton pass. I mean, that's not
bad.
We
allow dry passing. I don't know if you... I mean, I guess you could, but...
Can you baton pass Wish? Or no?
I'd have to... I don't know what I consider... I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think that's a dry pass. You have no stat boosts.
Yeah, I would say yes.
I'd say that's probably fair too.
I mean, it's just a worse teleport at that point, right? Like, because we allow teleport on like, what'd you say?
If you ran like a minus speed nature, like relaxed or something like that, then it could act like a teleport in most situations.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a good pick actually. All right. What about you, Justice?
So, again, there's a lot of great Pokemon in Tier 3. But
there's a lot of great Pokemon in all the tiers.
I love Pokemon, man. I love this game. But one Pokemon that I have consistently, like every time when I thought about the possibilities in a draft league format, this Pokemon always came to mind because of its its versatility, but not necessarily in the way you think, and that is Silvally.
Yeah, that's a good.
Fantastic.
Wait, is it SI?
SIL, yeah.
Just the fact that it having 95 across the board, it's good. It's obviously it's a pretty low tier Pokemon, so it's obviously not great to have all your stats be like below what most like defensive or defensive Pokemon would be.
Yeah.
But having that makes it bulky enough. Sadly, it doesn't get any like reliable recovery or anything.
No.
The ability to be any type you want, and to look at your matchup and say, okay, I'm missing a dark type for this person whose tier 1 is Dragapult or something,
Sure.
And just being able to change your type according to whatever your team needs any given week, I think is super, super strong. And having a really, really strong stab move in that 120 base power multi-attack. To be any type you would need it to be any given week.
And it has great PP. Like it has 16 PP for a 120 face power attack. That's insane.
Not going to get stalled out as much as
we saw some moves get stalled out. So it comes into play. Yeah, no, that's a good pick. It has good utility. I mean, it has Parting Shot, Tailwind, and Defog. So I mean, like it can do some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, great pick.
Good pick. All right, on to tier 2.
All right, tier 2 getting up.
One of my favorite, when I said I think cool Pokemon should be good, I think this one fits the bill. Nidoking.
Oh, yeah.
Just a cool looking boy, man. I don't know what it is. He just looks cool. He's got horns. He's got claws. Just very much so appealed to my, however old I was, 7-year-old self or whatever when Pokemon came out. So, yeah, just a cool, he has King in his name. I mean, come on, he's just cool. And yeah, I mean, this Pokemon is here simply because of this ability, sheer force, and just like an absolutely insane move pool. You wouldn't think it, but just Gen 1 Pokemon got really stupid move pools. He gets Flamethrower, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, and Wave, but you would run Bomb over in this case. Or no, you'd run Wave, sorry. He's like one of the only people that run Wave over because he doesn't care about the poison chance. And even, I mean, he gets Stealth Rock, which obviously is good. He gets Surf. He gets Toxic Spikes also, but really, I think most of the time you're running him has a special Wall Breaker with just an absolutely insane move pool. I mean, he sort of suffers. I think someone mentioned earlier. He sort of suffers from 4-move syndrome, 4-move slot syndrome, just because he has so many good, like, you want to run Ice Beam and Flamethrower and Thunderbolt, but a lot of times you can only pick 2 because you want the 2 stabs. But there are matchups, I suppose, where, you don't run it. Also, I've seen some actually run, what does he learn? He learned Superpower, I think, something, and to hit like Blissey and Chansey.
If there's Superpower.
Did you see Superpower? Yeah. So, I mean, and his physical move pool is actually fine. It just doesn't really take advantage of his, for the most part, of his
sheer
force as well as his special side, and especially because he has such good just such a good move pool on that end. But I mean, he does have, I mean Poison Jab and, Rock Slide. He could run something like that, and he gets, I think I saw Iron Tail up here. So I mean, he has, so you could, especially in draft, it's probably even more viable than normal, because I mean, there's even like Fire Punch and stuff. But yeah, overall, you're better off running the special moves. But yeah, that's me.
Nidoking's cool.
Yeah, I think Nidoking is awesome. All right, so for my tier 2, I know Justice is going to hate this one, but I have Mandibuzz.
There he is. I called it.
Yeah.
That's a great Pokemon. Excellent Pokemon.
I know, Justice, you hate him. I think he's awesome because my bread and butter is Toxic Stall. I'm one of those guys, and I think Mandibuzz is a fantastic, bulky, high HP, high defense Pokemon. Even its speed is usable at base 80.
For some reason, it is.
Yeah, and it gets crazy good. What's it called? Support. It gets Tailwind. It can be a phaser with Whirlwind. It gets Defog, Nasty Plop, Dark Pulse, Brave Bird,
Nasty
Stab.
Plop, sure. Yeah, why not?
Why not?
I mean,
but usually you're going to be running Toxic on it. You have probably Whirlwind. I'm sorry, not
U-turn
Whirlwind.
Also.
Toxic. Yeah, you can run U-turn. Tailwind.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good Pokemon.
And then you have Recovery with Roost. I think Mandibuzz is a phenomenal defensive mon, and then you're probably going to be running it with Overcoat, and then it can fit in well with hail and sand teams because it's not going to be taking any damage from the weather.
Yeah, it gets Taunt too. Actually, I don't know if you said that, but Taunt could very much. I think its standard is Foul Play, Roost, Defog, U-turn. But I mean, if you have another Defogger, or you don't need U-turn or whatever, you can try to fit like Toxic or Taunt or something in there as well.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's got enough flexibility in its move pool to be a problem. Especially with the type. I think its typing is great. It's neutral to fighting because of the flying type.
Gets Heat Wave too. Look at that. Didn't even notice. Someone's gonna get caught by like their Scizor or Ferrothorn or something's gonna switch into a Heat Wave.
That would be gnarly. But yeah, I think Mandibuzz is a solid tier 2 pick.
Yeah.
With a lot of good flexibility.
I agree.
That's Bone Rush. How many Pokemon can say that? How many flying types can say that?
0, 1. See, I was gonna say 0, but I was like, well, Amanda was. But yeah, 1.
Not that it matters.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna run it very often, but you never know. Maybe you're facing a Heatran. All right, what do you got? What do you got for us, Justice?
So, though I think there are better Pokemon in Tier 2 that I think in most situations are better than this Pokemon. I love this Pokemon, and I think that once it gets going, it can be really, really devastating, which is Crawdon.
Crawdon, yeah, that's a good pick. That is a good pick.
I love Crawdon. I think it's got an excellent design. It kind of suffers from not being bulky and not being fast, but it kind of makes up for it having a super high attack stat and a really good ability.
Yeah. Crawdon is a monster, man. If you can just attack with it, you feel real good.
If you can get one Swords Dance, Aqua Jet is going to be doing crazy damage.
Good in Trick Room, too.
Yeah. It does well in Rain. I think a Choice Band Crawdon with adaptability can one-hit KO Toxapex, physically defensive Toxapex with knockoff.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
And that's not something a lot of Pokemon can say.
No.
And
it also gets Dragon Dance.
Yeah, it gets Dragon Dance as well if you're if you feel like, hey, I don't necessarily need the immediate power as much, but I am in need of extra speed.
Yeah.
You can run it with a Focus Sash to guarantee that you get 2 moves off. Like maybe run a Focus Sash, hit something hard with a Crab Hammer, get Docked down to a Focus Sash, hit something hard with Crab Hammer and fast. And then something comes in, and then you can just chip it with Aqua Jet before you go down. I think it's a really, really good Pokemon, and Water Dark is really good offensive typing.
Yeah.
To the point where it doesn't really need to run anything other than like Crab Hammer, knockoff Aqua Jet, and then
it gets close combat. I think it also gets. I thought it got Ice Punch, but it doesn't look like it does.
It's Avalanche.
Yeah, it gets Avalanche, gets X-Scissor. That's probably all you would ever. I mean, I guess Metal. Well, you're probably never running Metal Claw. Yeah, I think other than Crab Hammer and Knockoff and Swords Dance or Dragon Dance, I think you're really only running one of those other like 2 or 3 moves. But yeah, no, I mean he's good, man. He's scary. He's real scary. All right, my turn for number 1. And there's like one I really want to go. Oh, I know what I want to go with. I want to go with Gliscor, and I can't type. Were you going to say Gliscor?
I was going to say Gliscor, but that's okay.
I think Gliscor is excellent. Like I think, it has the great typing. It's purple just like Nidoking, so it looks cool, also kind of like Nidoking. It's even ground type like Nidoking, but anyways, it's just a really good Pokemon. It does, I think a lot of people would say that it is better. Landorus Therian is better than it, and I don't think that's necessarily unfair, but it does do a lot of things better than Landorus does. It's significantly better against Stall, for example, because it has Poison Heal, and it's like fast enough that it's like hard to taunt it before it gets a whatever it's called, like someone else gets a taunt off on it or something. It gets like everything too, man. It can U-turn. It can be like your physical wall. It gets the Roost. It gets U-turn. It gets Defog. It gets Stealth Rock. And its move pool is good enough. It gets like Ice Fang to like hit those random grass types or something that are planning on coming in. It can run like a cute. Usually you don't do this, but it can run like a cute acrobatic set with Flying Gem or whatever. But usually you want to take the Toxic Orb for Poison Heal. It gets Knockoff. I don't know, just a really good Pokemon. Very flexible. Maybe even like. I don't know. I would say it's a better defogger than Landorus, just because it has that reliable recovery. Gliscor.
Well, and it works well if you want to pair it with a Wobbuffet if you're trying to catch it on a toxic, because then you can bring another item. There you go.
Sure. There you go. Yeah.
I think that Glisper is really good with set as well. If you wanted to run that with your toxic orb, you can get poisoned and then fling your toxic, which will badly poison your opponent's Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then you are freed up to use acrobatics if you want. Not like the most consistent strategy, but I think it's I agree with you. It's a very versatile Pokemon. I think it's definitely more versatile than Landorus, even though I would say Landorus is probably better. I don't think it's 100% of like a fair comparison though, because I think they do things differently despite having the same type.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, there's like not very many Pokemon better against stall teams than Gliscor, in my opinion. He just kind of crushes them. I don't know, because he can. I don't know. He just does. He can't get toxic. He's fast enough that he's hard to taunt. He can set up in the face of a lot of things. That's my pick.
There you go. How about you, Harrison?
Yeah, so for me, I have, speaking of toxic, my second favorite Pokemon, I have Toxapex. Is one of the premier bulky water types with a fantastic ability in Regenerator.
I know it's not that. I was thinking of water. I know what it is. It's Alamomola.
There it is. Yeah. There it is. No, but so I think Toxapex is just absolutely phenomenal. It has sky-high physical and special defenses. It's a bulky water type. The biggest downside to it, in my opinion, is that almost every single team is going to have someone who knows Earthquake.
Yeah.
But even so, having base 152 physical defense, you're gonna be able to take at least one Earthquake a lot of the time, and then you can switch it out for a Regenerator.
Yeah.
And I think Baneful Bunker, phenomenal protection move as well. You get 100% accurate toxics with it because of the poison typing. Liquidation if you want it, probably not. And then you also have Recover just to continue to stall.
Yeah, it gets knock, gets toxic spikes. I mean, it only does. I mean, I was gonna say it kind of only does one thing in defensive, but it has like enough good moves that like sometimes it's running toxic spike, sometimes it's running toxic, sometimes it's running haze. It can run infestation and trap things and just toxic them and kill them, or I don't know. It can do a reasonable amount of different things.
I've run the haze set a couple times, and it's good to go in there if you have maybe a dragon type setting up dragon dances.
Yeah.
Then in there and clicking haze and resetting all the stat boosts.
Yeah. No.
So I think Toxapex, phenomenal pick at number one. It's hard to justify a tier 1 pick with a purely defensive mon like Toxapex.
Sure.
But I still think it's a phenomenal pick, and there's plenty of offensive options in the lower tiers, or you can always go with a flex pick for tier 1.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I think it's a good Pokemon. I kind of hate this Pokemon, but I think it's a good Pokemon.
Yeah. You there?
It's not in my top 3. Let's say that, Harrison.
Fair enough.
I wish it had, and it would probably be too good, but I wish it had some kind of like U-turn.
Give it a flip turn.
Yeah, teleport, something. Be too good. I think.
Some kind of move to let it switch out a little. Yeah. A little bit of viability.
But I guess I'm glad it doesn't have that, but I think it would be better if it did.
It definitely would be better, but I mean, you're not going to find a Pokemon that loses benefit from getting some kind of.
I know.
Some kind of switching move.
Yeah.
I know I kind of monopolized, or sorry, maybe not monopolized, but I jumped in a lot for Gliscor, but
sorry.
No, I blame anybody for picking Gliscor.
Speed Boost Blaziken?
Speed Boost Blaziken's really good. That was not the one I was thinking. one I was thinking, I have two on my mind, but I think I'll go with the first one. Is you stole my defensive pick, I'll tell you, because all my picks I think have been offensive so far. So I'm just going to another offensive one, which is Weavile.
Okay. Was Weavile not taken? I think you're right, huh?
No,
it was.
I don't think it was taken last time. Super fast Pokemon, super high attack, really good offensive typing, as well as some pretty good coverage moves. It doesn't really have an ability because pressure's never doing anything for you.
Yeah, it doesn't.
His pocket. But, the thing's really, really good, especially with Axel now.
Yeah.
Being ice type move. Ice is already such a strong offensive type that there's not a whole Pokemon out there that resist it.
Yeah.
And
your tier 2 does, actually.
Yeah, wait. Who's my? Oh yeah, Crawdon resist. But Crawdon's not going to be able to take. It's going to be able to take like one triple axle maybe, because it's not bulky in the slightest.
Fair.
But Azumarill will take it. Pretty easy. But it gets poison jab.
Sure.
For those fairies.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, it's probably one of the best just like revenge killers in the tier. Like it's just real good at like, oh, you set up with your dragon, all right, Ice Shard, it's really good at that. That's probably like its claim to fame. I don't know. I'm probably running it with I don't know. Heavy duty boots helped it a lot. It can run choice band. Mm-hmm. It can be set up. It has sword stance, right? I'm like almost 100. I think you talked about it.
SD Life Orb.
Yeah, SD Life Orb. Yep. Gets Psycho Cut, I guess. Sure. They're bringing in them fighting, which actually, I mean, yeah, okay. They could bring in their fighting type against your... Yeah.
I think Triple Axle with its higher base power and stab anyway is going to be dealing more damage on average to fighting types than Psycho Cut.
Sure. That's very fair. Well, yeah. All right. There's our picks. Yeah, I don't know. This actually went significantly longer than I think we all thought, but here we are. It's always that last segment that I feel like we end up just taking longer with. I don't know, because like we're into it. It's fun. It's the fun section. But
it is the fun section, yeah.
But yeah, well, I won't take any more time, guys. Thank you for being on.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I'll see you both, I guess, at the very latest, March 6th.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, mark it on the calendar. Looking forward to it. And we will definitely be doing a draft breakdown.
Yes.
Talking about all of the picks.
Yes, we for sure will do that. Yes, I'm looking forward to that video. All right. Well, thanks again, guys, for being on. And thanks, everyone, for watching. We'll see you next time.